Welcome to Sergeant War Dog TV.
Steve Jeans, that's what it is.
All I know is war. All I know is shoot. All I want is more, but I got some things to do. I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior. Got a emblem on my cover. And ask me what I did for ya. I put the trash deep down under. Yeah, I'm a dog of war. Hell's what I've been through. I'm a dog of war. I did it all for you. Yeah.
Welcome back to the War Dog Trail. This is episode 9. In this episode, I'd like to continue with my own personal combat history, my own walk down the War Dog Trail. If you recall from episode 1, I became a Marine in 2002. I entered the Fleet Marine Force in November or December 2002. I was flown out west to California after finishing the School of Infantry in North Carolina. And I was assigned to the 1st Marine Division. Now, normally, all Marines east of the Mississippi River are stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, which is our East Coast base. Those that live west of the Mississippi River are usually stationed in California at either Camp Pendleton or 29 Palms. So the fact that my entire infantry class was pulled from North Carolina and sent out to 29 Palms, California, and the 1st Marine Division was unique in itself, because we all figured we would graduate from SOI, from School of Infantry, as grunts, and we just had a few more miles down the road, and we'd end up living, training, and becoming a part of units stationed at Camp Lejeune. However, we're flown out west to the pure desert, and I mean 900 square miles of wide open desert for the Marines to train in. We're talking summertime heat temps that can reach, 110, if not more. I specifically remember it could get so hot there that back when VHS tapes were still around, they would always warn you at the local, video rental places never to leave a video in the car or a VHS tape in your car during the summer, because the heat itself would just melt the tape and all of your movie footage on the actual videos. So I arrived in 29 Palms, got to my unit, 3-4, 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines. Was assigned to 1st Platoon. 29 Palms for a guy from the East Coast can be a serious awakening. I mean, you got to get acclimatized. You've been training, in South Carolina for boot camp, in North Carolina to become a grunt. Now you're thrust into a pure desert environment. So I eventually got acclimatized to went on my first field op with the unit, which happened to be called Steel Knight. that lasted 2 weeks or so. And this is the type of operation where you fully get to appreciate the power and strength of the Marine Corps. You get to commence training in full combined arms exercises, where you have your grunts, me, the infantry guys on the ground, but we also are being supported by the tanks, the planes, the amphibious assault vehicles, the AAVs, which transport the grunts. You get to see a full display of warfare and what we are capable of doing as a fighting force in 29 Palms, because as I said before, you have 900 square miles of desert space to just, shoot, blow things up, train, practice defending or assaulting any objective given to us. About a month after that, January 2003, my entire unit received orders to report to Kuwait in lieu of the Iraq War and Operation Iraqi Freedom. When I left the country, I was 18, and I happened to be a SAW gunner. SAW, SAW, is a squad automatic weapon, the M249. It's a pure automatic machine gun. You're firing linked and belt-fed 5.56 rounds, which the civilian equivalent would be 223 rounds. I left the country as an 18-year-old SAW gunner in January 2003. Most notably, I'm an Oakland Raiders fan. And of course, now this year, 2020, we're actually moving to Las Vegas. So I guess for the first time, I'll say I'm now a Las Vegas Raiders fan. The Raiders made it to the Super Bowl that year at the beginning of 2003. Super Bowl between the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Raiders. And sadly to say, man, because we were in Kuwait by then, I didn't find out who won that Super Bowl, man, probably until 3 to 4 weeks after the fact. By February of 2003, I turned 19. And in March of 2003, we began the Iraq War. The night before the war began, I can never forget waiting at the Iraq-Kuwait border with the entire 1st Marine Division and watching and hearing 10 hours of planes dropping bombs on the enemy that waited for us at the border. And when I'm talking numbers, there was an intel report that went out, as I've said in previous episodes, that there were 250 Iraqi tanks waiting for us. And in addition to that, there was always the threat of being attacked with chemicals, VX gas, and a number of things that Saddam and his crew could have got a hold of. And we did end up going through several times where, the call was given out, gas, which immediately means all Marines need to don and clear, be wearing their gas masks within 9 seconds. That was the standard at the time. There was once even an Iraqi Scud missile fired at us while we waited at the border. But I am proud to say that the Patriot missile, which I think is made by Lockheed Martin, the Patriot was able to intercept that Scud in mid-flight and blow it up there. because, we didn't know if it was armed with chemical warheads or not, or anything else. But there's no telling how many Marine lives that Patriot missile saved as we waited for the border, or as we waited at the border. There are things from each of these tours that I'll delve into in subsequent episodes. Where I'll go into specifics, firefights, cities, that sort of thing. But the basic gist of it is that my unit 3-4 was the unit that made it into Baghdad first, and we were the ones that pulled down Saddam's statue. As we traveled, we had reporters embedded with us from Time Magazine, San Francisco Chronicle, and later on, a few years down the road, I want to say the Chicago Tribune, during my third tour, did come out to Fallujah and interview us about being the first unit from the Department of Defense that was being sent to Iraq for our third time. So yeah, for me, I ended up turning 19, 20, and 21, either on my way to Iraq, or on my way back to Iraq. Now, the only thing I want to bring up from this first tour is the book, or the picture, or the bridge. On April 6th, maybe it was the 7th of 2003, as we fought our way into Baghdad, we crossed the Diyala River, and we had to, as a unit, cross the Diyala Bridge. But the Iraqis blew a hole in the center of that bridge to impede our forward advance on capturing the capital. So, I will probably never forget, as well as all the Marines that I served with in 3-4 Kilo Company, when we assaulted that bridge. And somehow, for me, a photojournalist that happened to be near us or embedded with us snapped my picture as I was crossing the bridge and passing a dead Iraqi enemy combatant. And that individual happened to also have some sort of explosives strapped to his, or hidden under his clothes, but tied to his chest, and a bandolier, or a carrier, or a pouch to carry. So here I am, 19 years old. As much as things are being said and going on about, Al-Qaeda or terrorists, I now have a picture in a book of me next to a dead Iraqi man. And that book is The War in Iraq, a Photo History, page 229. And that book's available on Amazon and many other outlets. But here we are in the year 2020. That book came out in 2003. And the last, 16, 17 years, I've walked around knowing every day that if you ever wanted to question what my life was like, or what my job was, or what I was doing in the war in Iraq, all you need to do is look at that book. And you see me crossing the bridge, still wearing my NBC suit, the nuclear, biological, and chemical suits, and carrying my trusty M249 past a dead body laying on that bridge. For pulling down Saddam's statue, our unit was awarded the Presidential Unit Citation, the PUC, and we were awarded by being one of the first units to be able to return home to the States, to our base in 29 Palms, California. That'll conclude this episode. Salute.